Hello everyone, in this video I'll be going over the best new mods in Baldur's Gate 3's patch 7 mod manager. So we got lots of cool things to cover in this video as there's new mods being added every hour. We got things like the Invoker, the Elementalist, the Wormsworn, and they all have a bunch of different unique subclasses. We also have the ability to play as Death Domain Cleric, a Forge Domain Cleric, and the Twilight Domain Cleric, which I know a lot of people are asking for. So these are now in the in-game mod manager. I really like the Forge Domain because this gives a bunch of fire-related spells and Searing Smite. Twilight Domain is cool too because you get the ability to use a few different skills that the cleric doesn't normally get access to. In addition to this, we do have some cool sorcerer subclasses like the Shadow Magic Sorcerer, which has just been added to the in-game mod manager. I'm a huge fan of the Blood Sorcerer, but that's a whole other story there. And yeah, we got subclasses for every single class, so even if you wanted to play as, let's say, a Druid, the Druid now has another subclass with the Circle of Summons, which is a very cool one. Using your wild shape charges to summon in different animals, for bears, spiders, etc., and they get more different as you level up. But we got a ton of cool new classes, and I just did recently a build, yesterday actually, of the Death Knight, which is from World of Warcraft. One of my favorite classes in that game has now made its way to Baldur's Gate 3 with 3 distinct subclasses with the Blood Death Knight, Frost Death Knight, and the Unholy Death Knight. So you can download this just straight from the in-game mod manager, which is just incredible. You can see I got a ton of mods here, so I'll just briefly go over some of these here and give my own little thoughts on them, and then some other mods not related to classes, but I know a lot of people care a lot about these. So the Invoker, this is a cool one that's focused mostly on dealing a bunch of different types of damage. So we got different spells here depending on what type of damage you want to do. 2d6 lightning. You can apply prone for 1 turn, burning for 1 turn, shocked, dazed, acid, which reduces armor class by 2, poisoning the target given disadvantage on attack rolls, radiating orbs with the binary stars, and then holy fire with the judgment. And then we also have like consuming void, howling spirits, seize destiny, overpower, mind crush, and biting terror. So the Invoker class adds a bunch of cool new cantrips to the game and create powerful magical effects with ease but lack the flexibility of other spellcasters. It's an interesting class, and there's a few subclasses within this one. The Elementalist, another cool one, focusing on elemental damage. So usual suspects in terms of cantrips there, and then we also get a few different choices for spells. This is a cool one. I like this because you can set up water with this class and then deal lightning and cold. I'm a big fan of that, but it's a very interesting one. The Wormsworn, this is cool because this gives you spell casting, and then it also gives you the ability to attack. You can choose your lightning bolt straight off the get-go, which is kind of funny, but also you get to choose a draconic ancestry if you'd like, and this will give you the different breath attacks that they come with. And then the Blade of the Worm, you can smite using your Worm Oath, or you can use breath every turn with the Path of the Worm, and the Herald of the Worm allows you, if you at the start of the turn you're slowed at the first turn, every turn the portal opens more, increasing damage at all characters nearby, so you can deal damage in an area of effect. What's cool about this mod is you get a bunch of different spells here. You also get a few different class passives. Blood Gift, you gain Dragon Blood, which is used to cast your spells. We also get different attacks. Draconic Claw doing an action attack here, which will give a Draconic Claw attack. Draconic Bite doing piercing damage for some synergy with like a ballast armor. You can repel force enemies with your breath. You can snare enemies with your breath. So this focuses on doing smites. It's kind of like a paladin mixed with the Dragonborn class. You also become immune to prone. You get a bunch more class passives, so choosing your types of weapons. But what this looks like in terms of practice is we get ourselves Lightning Bolt. You do get spells a little bit early, which is kind of funky. Then you also get your like Lightning Breath. You got your Chromatic Worm Smite, which allows you to upcast it there and deal a little bit extra damage. So we go ahead there. Our Guts Greatsword, missed him there with it. But yeah, this is a cool class. I think it's a fun one. I also have Wing mod. Wings Unlocked is the name of that mod, if you're wondering. I know a lot of people have been asking about wing mods, and you can basically roleplay as a diva. But there also is a diva race mod, which I'll cover a little later on in this video. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that one because it's a very well done class. We also have the Spectral, which is it's kind of it's like a fighter, but also focusing on like ghostly horror, so perfect for October. Close range full caster, focus on quickly taking out foes and subsequently retreating. You gain access to multiple ways to turn invisible. So yeah, we got ourselves a Spectral Escape, become ghostly until the end of this turn. Spell only ends if you attack, take an action, or take damage. Using Spectral points, you also regain Spectral points per enemy nearby that you attack out of invisibility when not wearing any armor. And Spectral Mark, mark enemies for other spells than passives that they Spectral to work. So you get a lot of different spell choices here. We get some cantrips too. I think this one's a really cool one. Blending like casting with a... It's kind of like the Arcane Trickster, I should say. I guess that's a good comparison, but better. The Shaman. Now, if you played World of Warcraft, you'll know this one. You get cool spells, like you got Earth Shock, Frost Shock, or Flame Shock there. And then also some spells, Lightning Bolt and Healing Surge. This was just added recently to the in-game mod manager, so yeah, you expect more of this to pop up as time goes on. What's nice about this is they all have unique actions. And on top of that, they all have their own unique kind of spells here. So Lightning Shield deals damage in attackers. You can choose another cantrip there. I really like the Demon Hunter. That's a fun one. And then we get to choose our subclasses: Elemental, Enhancement, or Restoration. So this one's more so focusing on healing. You got a Healing Rain spell and the ability to cure disease or poison. Enhancement, 2-weapon fighting. And you also get the Dual Wielder perk. So that's great. And Storm Strike, you get a couple cantrips. So Lightning Bolt free cast, which is a 2d8 lightning as a bonus action. Healing Surge free cast, and then you also have your smells. Flame Tongue Weapon, each hit causes additional 1 to 4 damage or 1 to 4 cold. The Elemental one giving us the Lightning Overload. Whenever you hit a critical hit with Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolt, you can cast Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolt respectively for free, which is incredible. So if you can set up a critical hit or get lucky with a critical hit, you can continue to slam that down. I guess their spells would work a little bit differently. Their Chain Lightning would be one that would have an attack roll for that. And yeah, that's incredible. So you can go about with that, or you can go with the enhancement. So I love this. Love the World of Warcraft spells or classes. We also have the Priest, which uses different resources to heal. I guess I'll just briefly touch on some of the ones here. So Mystic, everyone knows the Mystic, great subclass with 9 subclasses. We have the Witch, 4 subclasses, great class. Blood Mage is fine. I'm not a massive fan of it, but it's alright. Mind Weaver with 4 great subclasses. The Astral Seer being my favorite, but all of them are fun. Then we also got ourselves a Slayer, Favored Soul, Sound Assist. There's now a Keyblade Master in the in-game mod manager, although it's not finished or close to completion like this one is, from Nexus Mods. We also have the Arcane Vanguard. I briefly did a video on the Judgment Vanguard, but there's 4 subclasses there, all very powerful. Artificer. Now, a lot of people love this one. Alchemist, Armor, Artillerist, and the Battlesmith for its subclasses. Very fun class. I really enjoy this one. I mentioned in previous videos Blood King, Godslayer, but the Demon Hunter. This one's really cool. Having the ability to, I guess there's a cantrip there, but you get different attacks like Throw Glaive. And yeah, this one is really strong. You get 3 actions. You can attack and just rip through enemies, and you can teleport around. It's fun. Dragon Knight being another one that's cool, but I preferred the Dragon Knight a little bit lower. So there's 2 versions of this mod. The Reaper deals cold damage and uses scythes. The Ill Rigger, which is a popular one, uses the Baleful Seals to deal a little extra damage. Oakheart Sentinel, one of my favorite classes from the in-game mod manager. The creator of this is awesome as well. They did a really great job with this class. They're also working on another one at the moment with 3 distinct subclasses. This is a combination of a martial class druid that also gets the ranger's pet. So that is awesome, giving us a companion. I love classes like this. It also has some cool cantrip selections here, depending on what class you choose. You also get things like the Oak's Whispers, which is a thunder damage, and it heals you. So, very cool. I really like this class. Can't say enough good things about it. The Mystic Blade, being a spellcasting wizard-type combination. The Demigod. This is a really cool one, having 4 subclasses here. Hair of Zeus, Hades, Aphrodite, Ares, and Artemis. And then in addition to this, we also have the Nephilism class, which is like Devil May Cry style class. The Mage Seeker, which name implies seeks out mages, deals extra damage. The Ninja, which does attacks that can do like physical attacks that deal fire or cold damage in addition. The Dragon Knight, which I mentioned is my preferred version of this, giving a bunch of different subclass features depending on which one of these you pick. So yeah, this Dragon Knight was the better one in my opinion. I mentioned the Death Knight, but that is a lot of new subclasses and classes. Every single class has different subclasses that are added to the game. So my favorite being the Dread Overlord Warlock here. But we also got things like the Sorcerer getting the Divine Soul, and the blood sorcery being my favorite probably of this, as well as Shadow Mage is really cool too, giving you dark vision and a few different effects, and Darken, simple cantrip for sorcerers. So yeah, lots of spells and class mods that are added. There's a 5e spells mod that got added that gives us a bunch of spells for different classes. Now, in terms of gear, I think that most of the gear that looks great comes from the, I would say mostly from Nexus mods. However, there are some good ones here, which I'll just briefly show off. So if we use ourselves the summon tutorial chest from the Cheater's Ring, put yourself into turn-based mode whenever that spawns in, and then you can take from it what you will. And in this, you can see there's tons of items. The Dark Urge Dagger, Staff of Orcus. So these are two mods that are in the game. Very strong. It has Power World Kill on it, so enough said with that. And then also the Dark Urge Dagger is really powerful too. The Fellowship of the Ring, I previously covered this in a video. It has all the weapons from Lord of the Rings. Sting, Bow of Galadrim. Gimli, give me my axe. We got the Barrel Blades. We got Glamdring. Gandalf's Fireworks. Then there's also the Treasure Trove Armor. I really like this, giving us powerful versions of every armor set in the game. So you can build however you see fit with that. Treasure Trove Weapons, having a ton of really powerful weapons as well. So there are some mods that don't make them as powerful. Like there's some lesser powerful mods in the in-game mod manager. We'll get to that. Sparta's Chest, giving us the Infernal Rebellion here. And we also got ourselves a katana bag with 44 katanas. Bunch of different weapons here. So yeah, I could talk all day about these weapons, but I did that in a previous video. So we also got ourselves the Wings Unlocked mod, which gives us the ability to wear like the Diva wings. We also have Cambion wings here, so it looks so cool. Yeah, and I feel like there will be more of these style mods added soon. What's nice about these is that they move when your character moves. So if we put the Fallen wings on, it's not working for whatever reason. Stay. No. Oh yeah, I've been turn-based. That's why. So yeah, with that, I guess now I can equip it. So the Fallen wings giving us like that appearance there. And as you run, you can see there it flaps. I do have a mod that makes my running speed a lot quicker, so that does cause some issues. But yeah, very cool mods. I'll just quickly touch on some different cosmetic mods. There's not a lot that I really love, but then I'll show off what's in the mod manager for players that may be on console. And it's hard to say whether these mods will come to console or not, so just check and see if they have been marked available. Go on mod.io, check the comments. The creator will say if they put forward it towards being on console or not. Now, Faces Unlocked being a cool one, giving you the options to use really anyone's head here. Don't love some of the appearances on the characters. Like that does not look like Isabel that much. But the Seraphina mod was pretty cool. This just got added. And it's in the console mod manager, giving us a lot of hope for different face mods to be added here. I'm using one from Nexus Mods that I really enjoy here. But yeah, there's a few different hair mods that have been added recently, and I think they all look pretty great. So you can get really creative with how your character looks. Like that's Gale with a bit of a different appearance to it. But yeah, now I'll show off the mod manager and some of the best new mods in there. Bet you didn't believe we're going to get a mod for brushing your teeth. This mod actually makes the your Tav's teeth a little bit brighter, which is something that I didn't notice until, I guess I noticed in my first playthrough and didn't really think about it since. But yeah, Tav doesn't have the brightest of teeth. Makes sense, I mean, olden days. But yeah, that's besides the point. I just want to touch on some of the cool class mods that I've seen. So Circle the Summon subclass here. So this is a new Druid subclass that uses Wild Shape for summoning. We also got ourselves the God of War god, so if you play as a cleric, you can choose from different gods from the God of War series. Big fan of that game, so yeah, love that. Now, we just got the Shaman class here today, so this is one that I think a lot of people will like. Healing Rain and all the lightning bolt attacks that come with this. Very fun class. World of Warcraft, I played many hours of, so yeah. We also have ourselves the Death Knight, which was added yesterday. I already got an update. I did a build on this, so you can go check that out on my channel if you're curious, because it's a very cool one, giving us options of being able to use Frost, Unholy, blood damage. The Wormsworn for Homebrew. Now, this is a cool class. This is by the creator of the Artificer mod. So the Wormsworn has 3 distinct subclasses here. This is a very fun one, so go check that out. The Spectral class, which I touched on, is a full melee caster ghost. So you get a bunch of different necrotic-based attacks, psychic-based as well. You basically want to attack, turn invisible, and continue attacking and turn invisible, so it's a cool one. We also have some other ones like the Elementalist, which I touched on. I think this one's great. There's also the Farmer. Ain't much, but it's honest work. Pretty cool. Farmer class, yeah, not super powerful, but hey, I love these fun ones. The Forge Domain Cleric, so this mod has been added, and it's based on 2014 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. And then we also have some other ones like a Warlock Overhauls. I think these are good, but I don't like to have all of them. I just play the games based on what they were, base class. But you can definitely go for these. So Uncanny Dodge is a reaction. Dragon Knight class mod. So this is one I touched on there, giving us 4 different choices for dragons and their elemental base, which I think is awesome. We also have ourselves the Path of the Giants Barbarian subclass. I didn't really mention, but it's another subclass. I think this one's awesome. There's even a Dragon Tamer class mod where they unfortunately had some issues with it, but the Drake Warden subclass will hopefully be coming for Rangers because that allows you to use a Ranger's pet, but it's a dragon, which is awesome. The Reaper subclass I briefly touched on. There's a few different subclasses. This is the better version. There was 2 of them. This one works, the other one doesn't. Shinobi class I touched on. It's like the ninja, giving you the ability to attack and punch and deal fire and cold damage. And yeah, there's a lot of really great ones here. I'll now go into the subclasses and then briefly touch on some other things. So I'm sorting these by date published, so I always check the newest mods that got added. It's a lot of great ones. Twilight Cleric, which I mentioned briefly, is a very cool one, giving us things like Moonbeam, Glyph of Warding. So those are all the domain spells. And then Eyes of the Twilight, you get Dark Vision up 200 feet. Once per long rest, they can grant this to all allies, which is huge, so you can get really great Dark Vision. You also give one ally a +3 bonus on initiative checks. So this is obviously rolled before combat, so you want to put this on someone that you want to go first, like your sorcerer. So yeah, advantage on initiative isn't a thing in Baldur's Gate 3, so +3 equals a Feral Instinct. Really cool subclass. And the Forge Domain, as I mentioned there. And here's the Keyblade Wielder. Not fully, it's a work in progress, so it's not fully done, but there is one on Nexus mods if you're on PC and you really want to use something like that. I also like the Ice Monk subclass. This does counteract with one of my other subclass mods, so that's why I don't have it on there, but there's a lot of really cool ones that I think work well. Shadow Sorcerer, Mage Seeker class. I guess getting into the spells, there's a bunch of spell mods because this is one of the easier things you can make with the mod manager. Water Bolt, dealing a bit of cold damage. Divine Bolt, Thunderbolt. I've looked through and I've used a few different one of these mods. My favorite being the 5E spells mod, so if you go to most downloaded, it's going to be one of the most downloaded mods here. There's a lot of the ones that aren't spells here. There it is, 5E spells, work in progress. So this mod has a bunch of different, this is the author of the 5E spells mod on Nexus mod is collaborating with them, so there's a ton of spells getting added. You can see there a bunch of them. I highly recommend this one because it just gives a ton of new options for spell casting, which I think is incredible. But searching by most downloaded, you only find the best of them, whereas this video is about the best new ones. So if we look again at the published, there's a bunch of different spells there. But as far as races go, Greater Undead just got added today, so giving you Death Knight, Revenant, a Lich, or the Mummy Lord. So these are using some of the in-game assets already, meant for OP or challenge playthroughs. So I do think we're going to see many more of these getting added as time goes on. There's the Archfey, so you can play as a Hag, a Pixie, a Green Lord. The race mods are interesting, and these are ones that I think are a lot of fun. A lot of people are looking for. Got the Archdevil one, which is kind of funny because when you pick as a girl, it has a mustache on them. But yeah, there's a bunch of race mods getting created and added. A lot of them are going to be using in-game assets, but we're starting to see some different things being popped up with that. Like you can play as a Gnoll, you can play as an automaton, you can play as an Illithid. You got options. My favorite is the Owlin race. This is a very well done one. You can see there, they look like owls, for real. This one's great. Also, I like the Werewolf Origin. I just want to touch on this, and the Vampire Origin. Those are 2 really great mods. This allows you to start the game as a Dark Urge vampire, and it comes with its own benefits. I think it's a little bit better than the other vampire mod that's made its way to console, so just wanted to touch on that. But yeah, we got lots of great race mods with more being made. Quality of life, brushing your teeth, and little changes to some of the spells. So if you have a spell that you think doesn't work as proper as you should, just search up the spell and there's probably a change for it. Like you can do Divine Smite on ranged weapons. That's a cool little change. Equipment mods, I did briefly touch on some weapon mods. but there's a lot of them getting added because this is another mod that's not too difficult to work. Like the Forgotten Realms armaments here, I really like this mod. The Raging Storm, this is a lightning based sword. I have the Mjolnir mod, which has Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. There it is, Mjolnir mod. I have a different version of this, but it acts like Nirolna, coming back, exploding, and thunder damage. Frostmourne, the Blade of the Lich King. So this is perfect for if you want to play as the. It's very overpowered. You get Chaos Bolt, which blows up and hits people out of range, and then it has a Psychic Damage Roar as a bonus action. This works with the Death Knight, so it kind of goes hand in hand with that. In addition, there's tons of weapons and different equipment mods, so just wanted to touch on all of those in this video. So yeah, this is a bunch of the best new mods. I'll go over my mod load order because people always want to see this. There's a bit of a visual glitch listing these all as mod number 1. However, there's over 200 here, so you can slow down the video if you want to look through this a little slower, but I'm just going to list it all out. Unfortunately, it's in alphabetical order. I'm having some issues recently with the mod the mod installed list here being a little bit messed up, but yeah, tons of mods here, all listed in alphabetical order. If they have a little X on them, that means I got it from Nexus Mods. So you can see most, like 80% of them are all from the in-game mod manager itself. And yeah, I just want to cover these because I've touched on mods a lot, but I haven't done one recently on any new mods, so just wanted to cover some of the best new ones, and newest being the Shaman class, which I think is incredible. So I'll be doing a build guide on this probably this weekend. Stay tuned, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. Let me know in the comments what kind of videos you'd like to see related to Baldur's Gate 3, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.